Tomorrow, 2022 schedule, 8 p.m. Eastern here on FS1 NFL Network. And that Week 10 matchup is definitely going to be one that we all circle as America's Game of the Week. Number one show on television for the last 13 years. Let's get to Best for Last. All right, so we did this yesterday for the AFC quarterbacks, and now we'll do it for the NFC quarterbacks. Tiers of joy. Alex, who's first?
What tier would you place Dak Prescott in?
Dak Prescott is a starter. He's been the quarterback for the number one scoring offense and number one total offense last season. 37 touchdown passes, obviously got paid, but 1-3 career playoff record, and that is what's going to need to change. He was, on that superstar scale, but I'm going to put him at a starter right now. Has a little bit more to go.
That's fair. What tier would you place Daniel Jones?
Oh, Daniel Jones is 4. He's not a bridge. He's not a backup. He's a 4. He is, he's actually not an unknown. It's unknown/bad, and Daniel Jones is bad. It's unfortunate, but we've seen enough of him. And so he is in tier 4 on the bad side.
All right. What tier would you place Jalen Hurts in?
Jalen Hurts is in tier 4, but not for the reasons that Daniel Jones is in there. He is an unknown. They did trade for A.J. Brown this season, so they are leaning in towards giving him all the weapons that he needs. But he did lead the Eagles to a playoffs and had a winning record in his first season as a full-time starter, 26 total touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I like Jalen a lot. I think he's the future. They're checking it out this year to see if he is, and I think he will be, but he is an unknown right now.
The one-year audition. What tier would you place Carson Wentz in?
Carson Wentz is a bridge. Everyone knows I'm not huge on Carson Wentz, but 27 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions last season, had big expectations, and was terrible at the end of the season. Lost his last 2 games to the Raiders and, of course, to Jacksonville, which cost them the playoff berth. Under 500 as a starter over the last 4 seasons. He is a bridge quarterback and nothing more.
What tier would you place Aaron Rodgers in?
Aaron Rodgers, superstar, of course. I mean, there's no question. 5th player to win back-to-back MVPs in NFL history. Only Peyton Manning has won more MVPs. We know all about Aaron Rodgers' credentials. He's a superstar.
What tier would you place Kirk Cousins in?
Kirk Cousins is tier 2. He's a starter, but he is a very well-compensated starter. I'm not huge on Kirk Cousins overall, but he does know how to make some money, which I can respect. He is definitely a superstar at that. He is a superstar getting the bag.
At getting his money. What tier would you place Justin Fields in?
Justin Fields is an unknown, tier 4, 3-9 record in his rookie season. They did hire a new head coach. They lost some wide receiver depth, which I don't love. But the Bears' offensive line allowed the most sacks in the NFL last season, 58. So he's still a young player, has showed a lot of promise. I'm excited to see what he develops into, but right now he's still an unknown.
What tier would you place Jared Goff in?
Jared Goff's tier 2. I mean, he led the Rams to a Super Bowl in 2018. Had a winning record in 4 of his last 5 seasons. Obviously, he's in Detroit now and went 3. They won 3 games this season. But he is a starter. He's paid as one. He's had some success, but he just can't elevate a bad team.
What tier would you place Tom Brady in?
Okay, Tom Brady. There's not a tier for Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in his own tier, but we'll put him in superstar. Obviously, we don't need to go over Tom Brady's resume.
All right, what tier would you place Marcus Mariota in?
Marcus Mariota is a bridge. He's been great at this role. 29-32 career record. He hasn't been a full-time starter since 2018, but his problem is mostly injuries. He's never played a full season without getting injured. He's going to be a bridge situation for the Falcons, who I think will take a quarterback next year. They weren't really expecting to lose Matt Ryan, tried to go in on Deshaun Watson, failed, and this is a good replacement bridge situation for the Falcons.
What tier would you place Sam Darnold in?
Sam Darnold is in the... We should have split the last tier because it makes it seem like I'm putting Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Fields in the same. And this is going to get on the internet and people are going to freak out. So I'm going to say it for anyone who bothers to listen. These are not the same, but Sam Darnold is in tier 4. He is not unknown. We very much know that Sam Darnold is not a starter and not a bridge. He's just a guy that can put on a jersey and throw the ball around occasionally.
All right.
I mean, that's what it is.
All right. Fair. What tier would you place Jameis Winston in?
Jameis Winston is 3. He's a bridge. He did have a 5-2 record with the Saints last season, but it's the interceptions for Jameis Winston. They don't have Sean Payton anymore. I don't know how this is going to go this year. I do think it was a good choice for the Saints to bring him back, but I'm going to put him in a bridge situation.
What tier would you place Matthew Stafford in?
Super Bowl champ Matthew Stafford? Yeah, that guy's a superstar now. I had some questions about Matthew Stafford. He's making me a little nervous there towards the end of the season, but he shut everybody up, including myself. Matthew Stafford, first year with the Rams went to Super Bowl. He's a superstar.
What tier would you place Kyler Murray in?
Kyler Murray is also a superstar. Pro Bowler in 2 of his first 3 seasons. First player in NFL history with 70-plus touchdown passes and 20 rushing touchdowns over his first 3 seasons. He is dynamic. He does have some limitations. There's some questions about how these things are going to play out as far as the leader of the team, but he's the guy, and he is going to be there for a while in Arizona.
What tier would you place Drew Lock in?
Drew Lock is tier 4. He's just a guy. He's like Sam Darnold. I have a lot of faith in Drew Lock getting things on the right track in Seattle. Seattle does not have a good roster, and he had major issues with being precise when he was in Denver, and they had weapons there. So I'm going to put Drew Lock in tier 4. Not unknown. He's in the bad side of tier 4.
The half of tier 4.
Yes.
What tier would you place Jimmy G in?
Jimmy G is he's a bridge right now. You know, I like Jimmy G a lot. Obviously led the 49ers to an NFC championship game in 2 of the last 3 seasons and a Super Bowl in 2019. But he cannot, and I mean cannot, stay healthy, and it is so frustrating. He obviously makes some questionable decisions on the field from time to time as well, but overall as a winner, he can't stay healthy. You can't trust him.
And finally, what tier would you place Trey Lance in?
Trey Lance is in 4. Now, obviously, this is 2 San Francisco quarterbacks, but they've got 2 guys on the roster right now. He made 2 starts his rookie season, 1-1 record. He has all the physical tools, but we haven't seen enough of him to really evaluate if he is the future of San Francisco. And the reason that there are 2 quarterbacks from San Francisco on this tier is because I'm not sure that San Francisco believes in Trey Lance, and I guess we're going to find out very soon. I think they should go all in on him and trade Jimmy Garoppolo, but they keep playing this little shell game with it. But yes, to the internet, I want it on the record right now. There's a separation in the last tier, so don't come for me. I don't want to hear it. I am not comparing Sam Darnold to Justin Fields.
We should have a 4 and a 4.5.
Yeah, just like a little corner thing.
Yeah.
For the other guys.
Time out.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Fun show. Nick Wright, Melissa Rowland, Jonathan Vilma, myself, and Alex Curry in all week for Colin Cowherd. NBA playoffs continue on, and the NFL schedule release is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on FS1 and NFL Network. Win-loss. We're not going to play it for every team, but it is going to be exciting.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Well, offensive-minded head coach Bruce Arians moved into the Bucs front office this offseason, and offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich is still in his role working alongside Tom Brady. And when he was asked if Arians would still have input in the offensive game plan going forward, he made it clear that he has always been the one calling the shots.
Probably not from an offensive game plan standpoint, and I don't think that's new. I remember last year you guys talked about red line. That's never happened. I don't know where that came from. But it was never nothing even close to that. From the time I walked in 2019 with Jameis, it's been me full go. I'm just no risk it, no biscuit too. So it's just, you guys just, same thing, nothing will change. Everything should be status quo.
And let's be honest here. Tom Brady has a big say on the offensive plan. You don't bring in a guy like Tom and dictate to him what the offense is going to be like. You bring him in and you build around Tom Brady. He is also the best in the game and basically like having a coach on the field.
And our coworker.
And our new coworker.
Yes. I mean, I think Brady, and maybe I'll get the chance to ask him this since we work together now. I do think he has a lot of input because he cares and he knows a lot, obviously.
And he's obsessed with watching tape.
But I also have to imagine that it's a very much a collaborative effort.
Yes.
That it does appear that he puts people around him who are great at what they do and then leans on him. I mean, as his trainer, Alex Guerrero, who's had forever. He has people around him that he works with and trusts with his body and many other things. So I have to imagine it's a bit of a collaborative effort as well. Yeah. I don't think it's one of those things where it's like Tom just wants this and we're only going to do
but
that.
He has a big say.
Sure, as he should.
Yeah.
Who else would you want to have a big say?
Why wouldn't you? Look what he's done the moment he's come into this franchise.
And in the league before that.
Yeah.
But he also, obviously had good offensive coordinators when he was in New England as well. So
yeah. Not surprising statement there. But let's move to the Bengals because they surprised the league last season, winning the AFC and playing in the Super Bowl. But they're out to prove it wasn't just a fluke. Defensive tackle DJ Reader said that the AFC seems to run through Cincinnati right now, and they will be confident in themselves until another team takes the title away. Now, this is the confidence you want to have, but this is going to be an extremely different year. Last year, no one expected you to do what you were doing. You kind of flew under the radar. You were the underdog, and you proved a lot of people wrong. It's not going to be that way this season. You played in the Super Bowl. You are going to have a target on your back. Your game is going to be circled by a lot of teams here who want to prove, oh, if they can get to the Super Bowl, we can get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the difference between being the underdog and being at the front of the pack.
Yeah.
People are chasing you now.
Yes.
You get to sneak up on people when nobody expects the Bengals to be in the Super Bowl, which nobody expected the Bengals to be in the Super Bowl.
No.
Now, I do think this also comes from the confidence of Joe Burrow, who is 100%. Their leader, who is undeterred and unwavered in his confidence, which I think is great and which was perfect for this organization, what they needed. They needed someone who could believe that they could win. When you have been losing for so long, you just start to submit to there's nothing that we can accomplish because you haven't been able to see it. You haven't had the belief in it. And when you match that, obviously, which is very necessary, with talent, then you're able to take that next step. But you're absolutely right. They're going to get everybody's best shot this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's very difficult to repeat, but I am perfectly comfortable with him saying we're the best. Like, come beat us. They are.
They have to have that mindset.
They absolutely are.
As you said, belief. I think people underestimate the power of belief.
Of course they do. Because
it's a huge underdog story.
That's the first step in accomplishing anything, is believing that you actually have the capability of doing it.